so they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say, make we off mind. But thank God say, my ego don't come. So my people make you lie down, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shut down, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego die the political, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do even no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh yo yo, my yegun don't come. Oh yo yo, my people make you shout. Oh yo yo, my yegun don't come. Oh yo yo. Man of the masses, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. My ego diary political, oh, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah. This man not the off in mind.
Hello there.
Mayegun la wa mo la mo do. Mayegun diary na ibi number one.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live.
Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí. Máyégún diary na ibi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún diary na ibi number one. Bó bá ṣe àní Máyégún máa wí.
Share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Yes, tell them that Mayegun Day. So tonight's program is going to be an open mic, which means I am going to take calls early enough. But just while we, gathered and get ourselves all together, I will get you into the whole story tonight.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Thank you so much. Right, share this broadcast. Like I said, invite your friends and not so friendly friends. If you see the Lagos Sabobakus that stray in, right? We can't really do without them. But if you see them and they start misbehaving, just call my attention to it, okay? I will take care of them from this end, and they won't distract you in any way. However, you see this man is currently the number one enemy of the people, as it's been, ascertained. And a lot are now asking, right, among others, that he should be arrested. Now, I think we should start from there before we get down to, the DSS that they discovered that there is a plot for an interim government in Nigeria. Maybe they can help the people in Lagos to detect those who are burning markets. At least that would mean that they are doing something right. But for this man, Yakubu, one single man that robbed the entire generation of their hope. No, to them is the enemy of state, and they are making this demand. Let's start from here.
Those claiming that our submission at the Ministry of Defense was to woo the military over a possible takeover are mischievous and desperate spying doctors whose only interest is to midwife instability in our polity.
Yes.
Their plans will not succeed.
Yes.
Our country cannot afford to return to the dark years of military dictatorship, given the contributions of Nigerians to political disputes in Mali and Gambia. That is not an option or even an opinion. On the said day, we had rounded up visits to the U.S. Embassy and the High Commission of Britain and Canada. When we made a brief stop at the Ministry of Defense to read our press statement, calling on the military to stay within the law in their conduct, we call on all the spying doctors who desist, spin doctors who desist to desist from any further lies over our intention.
Yes.
We cannot be part of any political plot to destabilize Nigeria any more than it currently is by the illegality of Professor Mahmoud Yakubu.
Yes.
For those insisting on the unconstitutionality of the call, we like to remind you that Professor Yakubu's actions are also unconstitutional and that the public deceit is a crime. The fact that he still has a job in the commission is proof of how much we have fallen into the pit of illegality. No progress happens in any lawless society. As of today, Nigeria is within the full field of lawlessness because of the conspiracy or collusion to permit that fraudulent declaration will stand. May we reiterate our demand in the interest of public information and knowledge. Given the background of our explanation, within the time limit of President Muhammadu Buhari: 1. Sack, arrest, detain Professor Mahmoud Yakubu.
Yes.
Cancellation of the presidential election of 25th February 2023.
Yes.
Declaration of an interim government.
Yes.
Compensation of all the victims of electoral violence and voter suppression.
Yes.
We have also called for the establishment of a Truth and Reconciliation Commission in Lagos and other flashpoints during the federal and state polls for the purpose of national healing. It deserves mentioning that our group and motivation are apolitical. We are not serving the interest of any presidential election or politician, not any candidate for that matter. We are only challenging the illegality of the process that declared a winner in the presidential election that met every condition for failure. We are asking for the people to be held accountable for once in our country. We will continue to march for Nigeria and will never stop until our demands are met.
Yes.
Thank you. Now let's open the conversation conversation from that. Nigeria has proven that it can't conduct elections, and if it's possible, just scrap democracy. As I know that sounds ridiculous, right? But with what you have witnessed so far, the division that the APC Egbekegbe has brought in, and then a tilter or tata their country that is at the brink of collapse. Democracy may actually not be for Nigeria, but that aside, This their charade has brought in more questions than answers. And the more you ask, the angrier you get. And somehow, the joke, it all becomes like, is somebody trying to play a fast joke on you? Well, that's exactly what the system has been doing to you all this while. And welcome to the party. So, they are demanding for the arrest of the INEC chairman. And the INEC chairman himself is responding. All of you should go back and replan. Go back to your drawing board and try again next time. But because of the wahala of election, this particular one that received the widest and the biggest, the broadest coverage, a lot of people were interested in what their election was going to be, until a drug baron, a drug dealer, was able to capture the structure or institutions of the country for himself. And a lot of people are saying, no, it's not going to happen. No, it's not going to stand. And they are saying, well, what were you doing until it got to this stage? It's already happening. Then probably it's going to lead to a fight. Now, that's the state of the country as we speak. But here is the problem. The winner has been declared. The losers have been declared. The losers and the winners declared by the same umpire are both on the streets fighting for their mandates. The one that they declared winner is sharing money to poor Nigerians to also go out every day that they support him and all that. Yeah? And those who feel cheated, they have been on the street for the past 10 days. You know me. This is the diary, right? We will be keeping the record until the whole thing. Yeah? So because of the whole confusion, like say this is the first time election will be rigged. Even APC, Egbekegbe were surprised. Like, why is everybody so, why can't they move on? Can't you just move on? Why are you so losers? And the rest of that. But they are so scared, right? To actually go to sleep after the robbery. Now, they are now the ones cooking up different propaganda, incitement, to the point that their name on the list of those that are now under the radar for crimes against humanity, war crime, genocide, violence against humanity, money laundering, and the rest of them. They are a bunch in APC. Like this guy, who somehow feels like they are still operating in isolation. Every day, when you read what they have to say from the camp of Tinubu, since they said they won, yeah, it's been one divisive threat, intimidation, and attack after another. So DSS came out yesterday like a gist lover to alert themselves, not me or you, that they can confirm that it is true that the plot for interim government in Nigeria is real. But for the sake of education, you watching me right now, when you mention interim government, it is an idea that only those in power can put in place. Sure you get. And if you remember, just before now, when El Rufaya was making that his broadcast about Naira scarcity and fuel scarcity, El Rufaya said some people inside Bukwari's government, they are doing everything to sabotage the election. Sabotage the election and make Tinubu lose the election. That if they fail, they are also working to install interim government in Nigeria. Do you remember that? This was the early stage, a few days before their election. APC versus APC, remember? It was APC governor who made that allegation. They were the first to raise the alarm of interim government. And people were asking, where's this coming from? Do you guys have no plan of conducting election? Do you plan on bringing chaos and all that? Too many questions, no answers. But we started getting the answers. The day before, on the day of election, the day after that, and the days after that. So suddenly, the DSS said they have uncovered the plots that some people are planning to install interim government. And they warned them, blah, 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 blah. The only people who have the capacity to install interim government is the government, or the people who are in control of government in power. So what they do is that they will go and bring somebody. The Attorney General, Malamu, he will draft the article. And with that, they will take it to the National Assembly. And once their National Assembly passed it, even if they have to, I don't think they even have to take it to the National Assembly, but take it to the National Assembly. Once their National Assembly passed it and Boko Haram signed it, they will inaugurate an interim government. Whoever they say will lead it. It's just going to be like a committee. They will call them the last one. The first and the last interim government in Nigeria was put in place by Babangida, and that was Shonekon. It lasted for 82 days before military took over. Abacha, remember? So, if the people in government now suddenly start screaming, hey, interim government, oh, you know what they said? I'll tell you. In the coming days, they are going to start arresting people. Okay? And they are going to be arresting them for just one thing only, for treason. And you know what? When they conducted that charade election, right, they said go to court. Abi? Now suddenly, in Nigerian courts right now, there are over 1,000 cases. Over 1,000 cases on this their 2023 election charade. I'm talking about, and a lot of people are still kind of still going to court. So Malamu and Boko Haram and their gang, they have the capacity to bring one Southerner. It may be an Igbo man. It may be a Yoruba man. They will give him money. He will approach a court towards the inauguration day. And one judge that is also working for them is just going to give an order that they cannot inaugurate Tinubu, to make it work well with what they have done with the southern Nigeria based on this 2023 charade, the division, the hatred that they have already implanted, that they have have manifested in the last 12 months. Is enough. And majority of these are orchestrated by the Boko Haram government, and with the help of the greedy southern criminals who are power hungry as well, and they will do anything just to get that seat on the table, right? So it's easier. You can find anybody, you can go and bring an Igbo man, go and bring a Yoruba man, and a judge from one court, federal high court, we just give it bam. So they will say, hey, Igbo man, don't go stop Tinubu's inauguration, or right? But let's take it back a bit again. APC, Egbekegbe, raised the alarm through their Daura Secret Service. No name is mentioned, and nobody outside their circle will have the capacity to put up an interim government. You know another thing? They said Obasanjo is actually the brain behind the interim government. And you know that Obasanjo and Boko Haram, as it comes to their power struggle and the rest, it is convenient to dip Obasanjo into it. But guess what? They know who is behind this. And here is the fact. The DSS, the Dopemu Stupid Service, their job in the next few days and weeks is to hunt down a lot of you. And they've said, some people are going to court to go and stop the inauguration, to cause problem in Nigeria. And they are not going to allow that to happen. The peace in Nigeria, they don't want anybody to stop the peace. Should Nigeria get peace? Is Nigeria peaceful? Anyway, this is an excuse to start mass arrest, mass detention of people. A lot of you young people are going to be tracked down. Your bank accounts are going to be locked. Okay? You are going to start going ghosts in a way, and you won't see who is actually after you. And whenever they get some of you, it's always going to be treason. Because according to them, they will say, you going on social media or organizing a rally or protest means you are working towards stopping Tinubu's inauguration. And you know, in Nigeria have big men, weak institutions, strong men, weak institutions. So all institutions are in the pockets of the politicians themselves. So they can manufacture bogus, sort of a bogus investigation. But this thing is, why are they doing all this? Here is another one. Since this part of what this year charade election exposed is the xenophobic policy of APC, Egbe, and nothing happens by accident. In my own world, right? In my own world, nothing happened by accident. Not everything happened by accident. There are some certain things that they are not coincidence, especially in politics or policy. When you see educated people or not educated people repeating the same rhetoric, hateful rhetoric, divisive ones, and they are quick to come in defense of the criminals that have kept them poor for life, then you understand that it didn't just come from the ground up. It came from the top down. And the likes of For Food Coyote tweeted something like this. He tweeted this today. Before now, when this guy tweets or say anything in defense of the injustice, the inequality, the impunity that Nigeria represents, and then the state sponsored the profiling of the Igbos, you would think this guy is actually somebody who is real. Yeah? How could you be real with so much vile in your heart? For those who know Coyote very well, some said that it's not even For Food Coyote, Mayegu. Just say fufu and kono, or For Food and kono. Doesn't have to be, right? Now, he tweeted this, said, whether anyone likes it or not, one thing is clear. This is a new Nigeria where unity is the watchword, and where the newly established alliance and newfound, please, emphasis on the newly. These are his own making. He manufactured this. This is their world. If you're not in that world, you are an enemy. This is Nigeria, the newly established alliance, a newfound trust between the people of Southwest, the Yorubas, and the people of the North. Do you get that trick? Everyone from the North, they are in alliance with the Yorubas. Sure you get? And it shall, never again be broken. An alliance in a one country with over 250 ethnic nationalities. The country that is surviving based on the resources from the region that is not part of this unity, this capital letter unity in the world of these criminals that are about to, finally dissipate Nigeria. And please pay attention, emphasis on those capital letter. It's like somebody screaming, like, do not shall never like that again be broken. So pick out the word unity, Southwest Yoruba, North, never, broken, together, any. Put all of those words together, and then you will see a self-serving rogue that can only survive on a country run by lunatics, lawless criminals, vile people who never take responsibility for anything. Now, look at this. So, this is the new Nigeria. In the world of these drug addicts, their new Nigeria is the one where the northern Nigeria and the Yorubas have this unity. And that unity is that they will stand together to withstand any storm. Storm from who? Storm from those who are not part of that unity. Do you get their reality now? That's the world. That's their world. And you cannot say unity into existence. Do you know that? Unity is not just word. Love is not just word. Justice is not just word. These are not just words you say. There are actions that actually tells if you are working towards unity or you will be united or not. There are actions that will show if there is any existence of love, care, in the heart of those who are supposed to be caring for millions of lives and souls. But when they have this segmented xenophobic mind, tell me, would you now say you are surprised when you see those who don't have access to power, those who don't really have the resources to influence anything, regurgitating the same statement from this kind of people? And then you say, oh, unity beggar. We need this country. We need to be united in this country. We need to stop misleading this and that. But when you see these vile people, you can't see any unity anywhere. It's just going to be fire, fire, fire. This is the same guy who said, and here is another one. Oh, as deep as this statement is, as divisive as it is, what then happened to the people of Niger Delta? What happened to the people of Igbo extraction? What happened to fraudsters Otobokeyamo? What would then happen to every one of those who are not part of this unity that FFK is proclaiming here? What happened to them? Okay, I'll let you answer that when we get to that stage of taking calls, okay? Now, here is another one. In Lagos, for some reason, I have an instinct that continues to tell me that there is an act of terrorism going on in Lagos State. And a lot of people, a lot of you are not seeing it that way. And tonight, I want to bring your attention to that. Arson is terror. Murder is terror. Threat to lives and properties is a terror act. They are not violence. They are not clashes. In the last 6 months, I have personally tracked over 30 fire incidences around Lagos alone. Big one, small one, massive one, the entire market burned down and all that. And do you know why I suspect this is an act of terror against even Lagos? But this act of terror, like Boko Haram, like Fulani terrorists, they are government-sponsored terror. Until government says they are terrorists, some of you will not admit, but I am going to explain something to you tonight. And I want you to begin to kind of think about this. In Lagos State, on record, Lagos State have over 2 million out of school children. The children that are supposed to be in school, getting education and all that, but they are not. Right there on the streets. in Lagos. The unemployment rate in Nigeria that you've been hearing about, 86 million unemployed Nigerians. Maybe I should say I'm happy or not. On record, in Lagos alone, there are over 6 million people living, sleeping, waking up every day in that Lagos who are jobless. Now, out of that 6 million, though others have, some have created the extortion business, which is sanctioned and then authorized by the states. And this fraction, they put them under 200,000 thugs, agbero, and they are always ready for hire. Any violence you want, any part of Lagos, wherever you want it to be, they are always ready for hire. Only for the APC, Egbekegbe government in Lagos. They are the terror. They are the local terror, right? That people have come to sort of learn how to live with. Do you get that? Don't pass through that place at night. Oh. Don't go through that place in the afternoon. Oh. Don't walk in that place during the day. Oh. Well, those thieves are there. Oh. This one's, it's like a terror that people live with. You are not even safe in your own car. If you get caught in traffic, you can get terrorized. You can get shot or killed. Yes. Now, that local terror is controlled majorly by APC, Egbekegbe. Now, months leading to that their charade election, the rhetoric was that they must teach the Igbos a lesson in that Lagos. In fact, they need to go back to where they come from. They need to go back to the east. This is not new. But what you didn't know, what some of you don't know, is that there is actually a coordinated terror sort of operation. I will call it terror. I'm not going to call it sort of thug sponsored by. No. This is act of terror, and I'll tell you why. When APC Egbekegbe came into power in 2015, they did something that I have repeatedly explained to a lot of people on this platform. Yes, you've got terrorists here, you've got corruption, stealing, and all that, but there's a particular act of terror that APC, Egbekegbe, Bokwari, that they unleashed on Nigeria. It is called economic jihadist. Economic jihad. Now, the economic jihad is in different phases. In northern Nigeria, where a lot of people believe that the agricultural produce that actually serves majority of Nigeria comes from northern Nigeria. All of this came under attack. Farmers were beheaded by terrorists. Women, children were kidnapped from their different villages. Some of them turned to slaves on their lands, working, tilling the land, producing, and then, cultivating the land for the terrorists. The government is not touching them. So many parts of northern Nigeria is currently ungovernable. Like, there's no government there, there's no police, there's no nothing. They don't go there anymore. So all the economic activities in that part of the country, right, was already ruined and destroyed by more than half. Now, when you come down to the southern Nigeria, let's start from Yoruba land. When Bokwari and his gang came in, surprisingly, they just shut the border out. According to them, they want to stop smuggling of food. They want to stop importation of this or that, rice. So they shut the border. Guess what? When they shut the border, they give a spare key or two spare keys. One to Dangote. Everything they banned from importation, Dangote is the only one allowed to bring them into Nigeria. There's another one, Babu something. It's also from the north. Yeah? They gave him a spare key. So two northerners had the spare key to bring anything down into Nigeria from southern border. Nobody else. If you do, you get shot and killed. It got to a stage whereby even their customs are going into the streets in Ogun State, border towns in Ogun State. Their customs will be going into people's shops, shooting people because they are carrying a bag of rice. So last, all the economic activities in the southern Nigeria started nosediving. Not just that, economic jihad. Our farmers in Yoruba land, surprisingly, shockingly, they came under heavy attacks. From who? From the Fulani terrorists. And before we know it, they started kidnapping them. And before you know it, yeah, we were able to grow our food. No matter how terrible Nigeria will be, people will tell you, go to Ibadan. Go to this also place. Food are cheap. Food are cheap there. Food is cheap there. And all of that. All of this, they came under serious attack in 7 years. And today, some of our villages have become like war-torn areas. People have run away. Others have actually stopped. Those who endured for a while, they were running at loss. Big farms were being overrun by cows. And they couldn't do anything. And before you know it, people started living hard, really hard. And to this day, Yorubas are also suffering from the food inflation, things we could actually grow ourselves. Economic jihad. And when you go to the eastern part of Nigeria, suddenly, surprisingly, they started an act of terrorism, politically sponsored act of terrorism in eastern Nigeria. Just to also what? Cripple the economy there. What about the Niger Delta? The golden goose that is laying the golden eggs for Nigeria to do big boys and all of that, all these criminals. Far away in the creek, Fulani terrorists were touching down the creek with their cows. People were being slaughtered, kidnapped, ransom being paid. Then what about the environment? The oil that was actually coming from them that they told us was 1.8 million barrels per day suddenly dropped drastically to about 800,000 barrels a day. While over 700,000 barrels every day goes into the private pocket of those who came to come and fight corruption in Nigeria. And within a space of 2-3 years, boom, 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 Nigeria started exploding. Unemployment, indebtedness. And just like that, Nigeria became a jungle that a lot of people who were screaming change in 2015, started changing the tune. But unfortunately, the same APC, Egbekegbe, would rather tell you that your enemy is an Igbo man or the Niger Delta and all that. So if there's any unity, if there's any kind of arrangement, if there's any kind of bonding that Yorubas, according to Femi Foni-Kayode, have with the Northerners, does that also mean the Igbos who have their businesses in Lagos, who have been coming under serious attacks in the last 10 months, especially last 10 months? And we have seen some of these people on social media. We have listened to audios. We have listened to voice recordings. We have listened to meetings where they have been threatened simply because of elections. So if you now want to ask me today, I will tell you that all this fire you are seeing in Lagos, even though some of you are playing them down, I want to tell you that this is an act of terrorism that should be added to the indictment report on this APC, Egbekegbe, when this whole house finally collapsed, because it will collapse. Look at me very well. Nigeria is going to divide. Okay? Sooner or later, everybody is going to come together and say, you know what? I think the right thing now is for us to actually go our separate ways. But maybe we should start with the regionalism first. The autonomy for everybody to actually handle their own affair without anybody thinking somebody is coming or some other people are coming. Like politicians will tell you, they are coming for you. They are coming. We are the one protecting you. No. Nigeria is going to break into that pieces sooner or later. And it is not because you don't want that to happen, and therefore it's not going to happen. Or not because I want that to happen, then that's why it's going to happen. No, it is because the criminals in Nigeria, every day, every breath that they take in, every day of their life, is to maintain and continue to widen the gap of the division that is tearing Nigeria apart. Whether you are living in denial of it or not, it is going to happen. It's going to happen. So in Lagos, surprisingly, they said we have to teach the Igbos a big lesson. Remember I told you that their heart is so dark, their mind is so evil, that they are going to rig you. Like I said it, they are going to rig you. They will rig. The rigging that you have never seen before. The type that you'll be like, this must not stop. But they will rig you. But you will think, that's it. Now that you've rigged, can you calm down now? Can you, I said they won't. After that, win or lose, they will still want blood. Because the only way they can continue to control Nigeria, continue to ruin Nigeria, continue to loot Nigeria, continue to divide Nigeria, is to split, to continue to split the blood of the innocent, spread the fear. Their currency is fear. I don't want them to kill me. Look at those people that went there. They have killed them. If you see the day they came to come and carry Akin, now from the balcony, then threw Akin and Akin mama, Akin papa, and Akin sister. Now from balcony, then threw them. Baba, before the two of them land, Baba, Akin papa and Akin mama don't die. Akin, they bundle and like that. They carry waiting. This country, I don't want to die. I know, you know what I mean? They need this fear. But do you know something? They are also worried now because for the first time, they rigged an election. But the old noise is not going away. They are now battling with legitimacy. Are they legit or not? Who is going to deal with them? Tinubu cannot go to America. He needs that inauguration to be president so that under the cover of immunity, he can go to America. Have you not noticed that? Is one of the booby trap that they avoided during their campaign. The basement campaign strategy that they use, that today, none of you can say where Tinubu is right now. No, nobody can really say. Some said, don't believe that story that is in France. He is not. He is in Nigeria. He is hiding from those who wanted to serve him court papers. So I said, even when they finish rigging, they are still going to attack people. They're still going to look for one reason: to attack, to kill, to loot, and to destroy. And now they are doing it. You won. Now, do you know why I said that there is an act of terrorism being sponsored by APC? They will tell you that they are just erukus. Sure, you get. They are just thugs, political rascals. No, they are not rascals. They are not political rascals. They are local terrorists funded and sponsored by APC, Tinubu, and Lagos state government. And their act is act of terrorism. You know what they are doing? They are going to markets, and every part of the market that they suspect is majorly owned by non-Yorubas, especially Igbos. They will set them ablaze. No investigation, no arrest, no nothing until another one happen again. Have you not noticed? It's either they burn a part of a market down or they burn the entire market down. And every now and then, when their campaign stuff got so heated up and got so dirtier, right? They started saying, if this is going to be the last time that the Igbos are going to ever try what they tried. What did they try? What did the Igbo try? The Igbos are Nigerians. they are Lagosians. They work, they live, they work, and pay their taxes in Lagos. Okay? And they also register to vote in Lagos. Now, like everyone else, go out and choose somebody you want to vote for. No. Anybody who is not part of APC, even if you are a call Yoruba, you are not Yoruba. And the stigma of being an Igbo simply means you are an enemy. But this time around, they actually declared war on them, including their businesses, their family. And they said they need to go back this time because they don't want them to try what happened. The kind of threat they felt like they felt this last time. They don't want to feel that again. So therefore, they will destroy and burn and kill until there is no Igbo in Lagos anymore. Now, this act of terrorism to them is their way of defending their Lagos by destroying the informal sector, the sector that actually fund the IGR that Lagos State brags about. But that is what bigotry does to people. It blinds them. They don't think it through, right? And in fact, they don't know that if you are going out to destroy someone that you call an enemy, the ideal thing is that you should dig 2 graves. You will dig 2 graves, one for you, one for that enemy. So, you declare war on people that are just like common people like yourself. After people pay you to shout on your mandate like this because of 2,000 naira. Those are the Agbadomites. After their rally in Abuja, they started fighting because the person that was supposed to pay them, he started short paying them. So they attacked him. They attacked the 2 of them. They wanted to drag the bag of the money so they can scatter everything and everybody can just steal the whole money. Those are the people shouting in Abuja.
Today, I want to declare without equivocation. Today, I want to declare without equivocation. Today, I want to declare without equivocation.
In Abuja. So prior to their election, they wanted to teach Igbo a lesson by burning their markets, burning their shops. And then when you talk about it, don't say that. Mayegun, you are trying to cause a problem. You are the one who is trying to. Are you mad? Ni? Sheti yawireni? Is that how dark-minded some of you Lagos Abobakus are? Ni? Is that how depraved or something that you are? Ni? Is that how unfortunate majority of you have become? Ni? Because of politics. And since this whole fire, the reason why I call it an act of terrorism is that since this whole fire here and there, have you ever seen any investigation? Daura that turned to Dokwemu, stupid service. Can't they see a pattern? Can't they see a pattern? Balogun Market, few days ago. Akere Market, few days ago. Now, Olowu Abi Oluwo Market, spare parts markets in Ikeja, everything burned down. They are saying, every time, some of you may not know, every time they burn a market, You see these Lagos Sabobaku, some of them are not living in Lagos, but they are APC, Egbekegbe terrorist member, Al-Qaeda People's Congress of Yoruba land. You will see them. They will be pointing at where they should go and burn next. Let us go and burn that supermarket. That one is next. You see that Alaba market, that place is going to be very good for playground. A multi-billion dollars market that is paying multi-billion naira in taxes to the cover of Lagos state government. The Ashiri, Alakpama Shishes, they are hoping one day to burn down Alaba market. Lagos state government can turn it into a BRT roundabout. So BRT will just go there and turn and continue their trip. They will go there and turn, make all the Igbos go back to where they come from. This incitement is so bad, is so terrible, that after the election, after they announced themselves, some of them who are not from that same Lagos, they were happy. They said, some were saying that I am happy that my propaganda work on the people in Lagos. I'm just so sad that I am unable to vote in Lagos. But I am happy that I contributed my own propaganda to make sure that the Igbos don't take over Lagos, when there was no Igbo taking over any Lagos. Just yesterday, the Lagos Agberos, they clashed with the commercial bus drivers and conductors in Lagos. Here you get. These are people that are paying money into the hand of extortionists, political thugs. Here you get. Now let's put it this way. In northern Nigeria, okay, the Boko Haram, they are controlling more than 30% of the towns and villages in northern Nigeria. A lot of communities have actually signed a peace deal with the Boko Haram, so that the Boko Haram are the ones providing security for them. So they pay security fee to the Boko Haram. And Nigeria is not doing anything about it. In Lagos, the local terrorists are extorting hardworking people. And that money is actually not going to government, it's going into the cover and into the pockets of the Agberos. So the bus drivers, commercial bus drivers in Lagos, the Korokwe drivers, that's the tricycle drivers as well, riders. So they protested. And in their protest, they said that a whole day, they pay 13,500 naira to different Agberos at different junctions in Lagos. If you are the type that actually operate long and longer route and all that, you will pay 13,000 naira for a whole day. Every trip you go, every trip back and forth, you'll be paying them 1,000, 1,000, 1,500, 1,000. And they then put the number together, right? That if Lagos have 72,000 commercial bus driver, and apart from paying for the road tax, paying for the driver, the insurance, paying for this or that, every other tax that goes to government, which they take maybe just once in a year. But every day, when they calculated how much they pay Agbero in Lagos, 13,000 naira. Now, if you now say 13,000 for 1 month, 30 days, that means each driver in Lagos is paying Agbero in Lagos, paying to the cover of the Agbero in Lagos 50,000 naira. Yeah. Is that 400,000 or 300? No, sorry, 380,000 naira. That's how much each driver, bus driver in Lagos, that's how much they pay into the cover of MC Olueran in Lagos every month. Now, if you put that together in a year, That's like a 4.1 or 4.2 million naira. That every driver that is driving a bus, if you drive your bus from January to December on the street of Lagos, you will be paying 4.1 million naira into the cover of MC Olueron. And guess what? These drivers protested yesterday. The Keke Napep riders said they pay up to 6,000 naira to the same agberos. To the point that in their protest, they said they are working, but they can't feed well. They can't feed their families. The majority of them actually hit things that people that are not even working can't feed on. Because majority of their money have to go into the hand of these guys, and at the end of what is left is barely enough to take care of them. Do you know those who came there to come and defend the Agberos? The Lagos Abobakus, the humbled slaves, the sophisticated morons, the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the ass lickers, the all risers. Tell us how much Agbero is collecting in Anambra. And what is your problem, Sef Mayegun? What is your problem? Why do you hate Yoruba land this much? Oh, I hate Yoruba land that over 250 billion naira every year is going into the private pockets of political thugs that controls the streets. They are not police. They are not military. They are not nothing. They are just Agberos. And they are entitled to take money from you, including from the sachet pure water seller, Okas. So if that money a year, they say Lagos State is generating, Alpha Beta said they are generating how much in Lagos? A year. How much? 600 billion. Now that is the one they declare. They are not telling you the one that goes straight into the pocket that they won't declare, Abi. But this particular one has nothing to do with the taxes that government collect. This one are extortion on the street of Lagos. Extorting drivers, riders, and all of them. 250 billion naira every year. So why wouldn't they own hotels? Why wouldn't they own the most expensive cars, automobiles? Why wouldn't they have houses like they want, right? Why wouldn't they begin to have properties abroad? Why wouldn't they send their families abroad that are living real large? Why wouldn't they? It's free money. So those who are suffering it protested. And the Lagos Abobakus, they came for me. You are just telling me. You are just jealous. How much are they thugs are paying in Anambra? How much are the drivers paying? So people are now coming there to say, well, in Anambra, all you have to do is once you collect the OT, you pay 4,500 naira a month. Oh, if you are a Keke Napep rider, you pay 1,400 naira a month and you collect your ticket. But this is not ticket. This is something you pay every day, every junction. Once you come to this junction and you pick somebody there, you pay. And by the time you put everything together, I say, how much money are they making? You this liar, Mayegun. You this liar. How much money are they making? That they will be paying 13,000. Sure you get. All they have to do is to say what is wrong in it. You are just exaggerating it. It is not that bad. What is wrong if they are collecting the money? Are they not collecting the same money elsewhere? And that's it. You have it. That's your Nigeria. And the people that are, you this Mayegun, you are enemy of progress. 2,000 naira. 2,000 naira. Papa, mama, Peking. Inside APC, Egbekegbe, impoverished beyond control. Just like this. Disgracing their family members there. When they are done, then they will begin to look for Igbo shop to burn. In the process of burning, aiming to burn down Igbo businesses, they are burning the businesses of Yorubas. They are burning businesses of other non-Yorubas who are also there in Lagos, in the informal sector of Lagos, actually contributing, not taking. The Igbos are not taken from Lagos. The non-Yorubas and the Yorubas alike who are living in Lagos and they're contributing to the economy of Lagos, they are not taking anything from Lagos. They are adding to it. The Agberos that are taking things from Lagos, that are actually taking and not giving anything back. there are those who are now burning the informal sector. That's an act of terrorism, if you ask me. Or what do you call this? If it happens, you wake up and you see a news like this on your screen.
Well, because of the fire incident, nobody knows. So this Olowu by Ikeja, Olowu spare parts, Ikeja. So it is quite unfortunate how this shop burning in Lagos is getting out of hand. It's getting too much. Especially the Igbo shops, it's getting out of hand. So, and I don't think they have enough security to guide their shops. So,
people market BDC. See, now people see pass BDC, a compressor BDC condenser. See as everything does go. See, look at people market. Look at this one. The one where they manage to even bring out to the ones where fire don't consume self. Nobody see all those ones. See, look at now this. AC line they on fire like this, so push up don't burn. See condenser, see condenser, see people market don't burn this early morning. Look at people shop. Which kind of frustration be this one?
So it's an act of terrorism. That's not clashes. When people come in the middle of the night and then they set fire on the business premises, what do you think should happen? Compensation or investigation to stop such from happening? There's not going to be any answer. Another one is going to happen again. Then another one is going to happen again. Then it's going to happen again and again and again. And that's why we said, see, I said this, I may not have influence in a way on how to say something and people will just say, oh yeah, I'm going to do it. I may not have that much influence, okay, but my advice can be very, very useful. A lot of you talk about them, but we actually want to see you do them. Prepare yourself and form your own defense team, especially you, the Igbos, Lagosians. You are not visitors. A lot of you were born in Lagos. So, okay, stop making them continue to push that narrative that you came from somewhere, A lot of you have investment that the forefathers of the thugs that people can give 2,000 naira to, jobless, miscreants, political Oshins. You have investment in that place. So many of you have been there for the 4th, 5th generation. A lot of you have been there. Your generation have been there before that Igbin Ragbiji could surface at all in the politics of Lagos. I don't know. You can form your own defense. You know the terrain. You know everybody around. You know the thugs that poses real threats to your businesses. You know them. There's no point in showcasing your victimhood all the time anymore. You get what I mean? That is your place. That's your place of business. That's your legal place of business. Thugs are committing act of terrorism. The reason why they will never be arrested, the reason why there will never be any investigation, and the reason why this is going to continue is because those who are sending them are those who are in government of Lagos State. Does that make any sense to you? Okay, it doesn't have to. Anyway. Defend your territory. Provide your own organized security system, not yourselves. Stop saying you are forming vigilante and all of that. No. Officially, you have different market union that you control there. Pull your resources together and provide security for your market and see all this fire disappear. All this fire today, fire tomorrow. Millions of, or if not billions, of people's investment are going up in smoke. People are dying. Some of these things, you read the story. Hey, social market born. How they have done born another market. Somebody gave them 100 million naira. You don't hear the full story. There are many people that will never recover. from this ongoing terrorism of APC, especially in Lagos. They are going to expand it all over Nigeria. It's going to be a different act of terror. The one that you probably can't imagine, but they're going to happen. Defend yourselves. You've got the money. You've got the resources. Get those security guys that are undercover. Pay them good money. Okay? Protect your investment. Protect your businesses. And like I said and advised many times, I am seeing something that is so bad and terrible. You are never going to be able to manage it. Like, we'll manage it. We'll manage it. We'll do our best. We'll try and see. Now, if you beg from today till tomorrow, beg from May 29, put people together to continue to do media begging for Igbos in Lagos. From May, these guys are the domestic terrorists, and they have been convinced that the Igbos are a threat. This is a big thing, This is a big thing, The Igbos are a threat, and the only way to get rid of them or to conquer them is to ruin all your investment. They know you are likely not going to leave like that. But when they wreak the havoc beyond what, as in, something that will actually trigger a serious big riot. Well, let me tell you something. Nothing happens by accident. This whole thing